Hi everybody, the topic of this video is the types of relationships between entities in database. And before we begin to consider these types of connections, how many they are, what they represent, we need to understand the very concept of the word entity. What is it? An entity is a specific object from the real world for which you need to collect data, collect information into a database. In fact, if we talk about the types of connections, there are only 3 of them and they are quite simple. We will analyze them in this video. The first type of communication is called one-to-one. What is this type of communication and when should it be used? It is used when we clearly know that one record from one table has some specific correspondence to one record from another table. For example, here is the passport number. There can only be one. One person cannot have multiple passport numbers. That is, the passport holder can be the owner of only one. That is, this is how this type of one-to-one communication is built. One record of one table corresponds to one record from another. In Chen's diagram, it looks like this. One person has one passport. This type of communication is not very popular, but nevertheless, sometimes as in such cases, for example, passport, tax, service number, and so on, that is, it is used when something cannot be several. The second type of communication is the most popular. It is one-to-many, or with such an abbreviation. What is its main meaning? Its main meaning is that a certain record from one table can correspond to several records from another table at once. Let's take a look too. We have an example. We have managers. They are presented here. And we have employees. What can we see? We can see that our managers are single, but at the same time, they may manage several employees at once. So we see that Kaylee is a manager, but she immediately manages 2 employees. This is where this principle works. As I said, it is the most popular. And in the Chen diagram, this type of relationship is displayed as follows. The last, third type of communication is many-to-many, or the abbreviation is used. And here we already have such a more complex option. Why? Because here several values of one table can correspond to several other values at once. Let's look at this example. We have a table with the actors and a table with certain films. Basically, of course, that only one actor cannot star in one film. As a rule, several actors are filmed there. For example, let's take an example from Titanic. We can see here there are at least 2 actors represented here. At the same time, we see that the actors are not acting in just one film. That is, as a rule, they try to act in several of them. Therefore, we can understand that here we already have a wide variety of variations available. Very often, by the way, this type of relationship is created using an intermediate table, as we can see here. That is, a third table has been created. This is just the principle of many-to-many relationship. And finally, the Chen diagram of this example looks like this. And in this video, you learned 3 types of connections in the database.